Alright, hello everybody, my name is Troy Harrison Chriest, and on today's video, I'm going to be talking about Lost in Space, the new Netflix show. I watched the entire first season in one night because, I really liked it. So here are my thoughts. Here's my review of Lost in Space, the brand new sci-fi thriller on Netflix. And yes, it's 4K. Looks very nice. One of the things I really like about Lost in Space is that it manages to have storylines that an entire different age groups can actually follow. It's not just a show made for me, like Altered Carbon. I don't know if you guys have watched some of the later Netflix sci-fi stuff, but it's been pretty dark, almost horror type theme sci-fi sort of things. And so the fact that they put out Lost in Space, and it's literally rated PG, and somebody like me who likes dark space themes, who likes like games like Mass Effect where you make all these shades of gray type decisions, it was actually a tremendous show, even though it's like it's family friendly space show. It's, you know what, it really felt like Stranger Things and Star Wars like had a little baby, you know what I'm saying? The plot of the story follows a family named the Robinsons, who are on a space voyage to a new planet called Alpha Centauri. Not everything goes to plan. They kind of crash land. They meet a robot. That's all I can really tell you without spoiling the show. This was like a remake of an old 60s show, and there's been a couple of remakes of that specific Lost in Space kind of story, but they really kill it with this show. One, it's shot absolutely beautifully. It looks tremendous on a 4K TV. The acting is pretty good. It's hit or miss. People like Molly Parker obviously kill it because she kills it in everything. But some of the kids, specifically the main boy who meets the robot, Will Robinson, I don't know his actor name, kind of corny. It's kind of more made for a family. So like, I don't know. If you like really dark themed space shows like Altered Carbon, you might not like this as much. I think I kind of liked Altered Carbon a little bit more, just because it's deeper. There's a lot more stuff going on. Basically, this show, family lands on a thing, survive, right? That's the whole show. Happy endings and all that stuff. Nothing terrible is really gonna happen. So anyways, with all that in mind, no, they're not doing all this gore. There's no sex in the show. It's literally PG. Not even PG-13. It's not TV-14. It's kind of shot like a Star Wars movie. It's all yippee. It's all fun and games. The main character, the little boy who meets the robot, literally looks like Anakin in episode 1. Literally almost typecast. Kind of weird. So anyway, to wrap up that point, it's a really fun show that you can watch with your entire family. There's not going to be anything that if you showed your kid or whatever, you'd be like, oh my god, I'm a bad parent for showing him this. Like, literally, it's like taking your kid to a 10-hour Star Wars movie. I really like the show, even though it's very simple. It doesn't have any, like, super deep messages, none of that stuff. It's not teaching you an amazing lesson. It's just an interesting show. It's just fun. It's just fun to watch. That's really my first point. Moving on. Other things I really like about the show is, one, the cinematography, the locations. All the special effects is absolutely tremendous. When you actually get to some of the robot stuff, it is like, holy crap, how much did they spend on this TV show? Like, they don't ever actually name the robot. He always goes by the robot, which I kind of like. Anyways, I have never really seen special effects that look as good as this. When the robot is fighting and it kind of morphs into his combat mode, you would not believe what you're seeing just for a TV show. It looks like a $300 million movie, but 10 episodes of it. It's absolutely tremendous. The art design, the sound design, that's what we actually really have to talk about. Besides all the amazing locations and the different environments and biomes that they show you just on the one planet that you're at, the sound design is amazing. All the noises you hear when there's different stuff in the forest, I'm not going to spoil anything that pops up, or just the music in general. I really love that Lost in Space did not just rip off Mass Effect's soundtrack like every sci-fi show in the world ever does. They ripped off Star Wars. Thank you very much. Literally, if you guys have ever watched a sci-fi show, this might sound familiar too. Ready? Bouncy space music, oh my god, stress, it's so stressful, bouncy, Every single sci-fi show of all time since Mass Effect 2 has come out has used this kind of rip-off bouncy space music to build tension and stuff like that, and I love that Lost in Space did not do that. They ripped off John Williams. Yes, rip off the big boys. It's hilarious. Anyways, the music is great. It feels like you're watching a Star Wars movie. Even though there's no lightsabers, you don't see many crazy aliens. There are definitely alien creatures that you will see. That's another thing I do like about the show is you'll see sci-fi shows like Dark Matter, which is basically just humans in the future. There's not really alien civilizations and all this stuff. You don't really get deep into all that. I mean, that was probably specifically because Dark Matter didn't have a massive budget, but I mean, I really like that they actually go out of their way to show you crazy things that you have never seen before. And on that note, let's talk about this robot. Oh my God, look at it. It's like, did they build this thing? There are parts in the show where you can't tell if the robot is like actually a model, if it's a dude in a robot suit, or if it's complete CGI the whole time. The art design, special effects, everything is tremendous. It looks very good. Anyway, the art design, the sound design, all of it looks amazing and it all combines into a great show. Another thing I would like to talk about is some of the actors in the show. One person that completely steals the show is Taylor Russell. This lady. They pretend like she's like an 18-year-old girl, but to be honest, this girl is 2 years older than me. She's like 23, and it's very hard to actually hide that. So there's some immersion breaking stuff like that where you're like, there's no way this chick is as old as they're trying to portray her as. She's super mature and all this stuff and has a big ass. A big ass. All right, other things I really like about the show is there's a ton of really good characters. The people like Don West, people like Judy Robinson, I mean, especially their relationship throughout the show is like, it's very like, oh my God, can you guys just get together already? Like, what are we doing here? Besides Don West, the sort of Han Solo smuggler type character at the beginning of the show, I mean, you kind of think that he's like, oh my God, I don't like anybody. I'm just here for myself. I'm, just doing that sort of deal. The smuggler badass type. But then he builds into like one of the most likable characters on the show. I literally bought some Scotch single malt whiskey because he talked about it so much on the show. Anyways, there's a lot of really good characters, but there are also some really annoying characters. This is not a perfect show whatsoever. All right, characters I absolutely hate and kind of almost ruined the show for me. The main villain, I have it on my list, Dr. Smith. Oh my God, Dr. Smith is the most unlikable character in film history. Haven't you guys watched The Dark Knight? Learn how to make a likable villain. This character, Dr. Smith, as soon as you meet her, is making decisions where you're like, oh my God, you are a terrible person. And she just continues throughout the show to make evil, terrible decisions. And she's the big bad villain of the whole show. I mean, it's pretty obvious as soon as you meet her. I enjoy when people make villains that you can kind of bond with, like the Joker in The Dark Knight, like Voss in Far Cry 3, like Bane and Catwoman in The Dark Knight Rises, stuff like that. The villain of this show is 110% unlikable and just 100% evil. Her motives, really nobody, I don't see anybody watching this PG show and anybody actually aligning with her motives. Like, she's so predictable. I mean, the writing in this show is great, and often you're never gonna be able to like actually think, oh, this is what's gonna happen next. This is what's gonna happen next. I know for sure this is what's gonna happen next because I watch shows like that and I kind of think like that as I'm watching a show. That really didn't happen to me much while watching Lost in Space, except with the Dr. Smith character. Her motives are 100% evil, and you always know she's gonna do the worst thing possible. As soon as you see the look in her eyes, she's gonna do, oh my God, I hate that character. Anyways, that's one of my biggest gripes about the show is that the villain, they give her so much screen time in the show, and you don't want to watch her. You don't want to even bond with the character at all. There's nothing that makes you interested in the character besides, hey, can you stop messing with these nice people? I feel like I've even talked about the character too much. The villain of the show is absolutely terrible. I didn't even Google the actor's name because I hated her performance. They could have had the exact same character written with a semi-likable looking actress, and people would have at least been on the edge like, oh my God, she's so evil, but at least she's kind of cute. There wasn't even that. She was just 100%, nobody likes this character. Everybody watching the show is like, can you stop being so damn evil? Anyways, moving on. The next character that I really did not like is Will Robinson. I know this show has had other iterations in the past where it is a young boy meeting a robot, but goddamn, in 2018, can you not have like an older kid meet the robot instead of young little Anakin? I know I touched on it earlier, how I don't like the Will Robinson character. All of his lines are at the beginning of the show, you're fine with it. You're like, all right, he's a little kid, he's lost, he meets a robot, it's his friend, whatever. At the end of the show, not to be like spoilery at all, I'm not going to spoil any specific events, but they start giving him all these like hero shots, like, I'm gonna save the day. Like, in the last episode, you will see this one shot of him in a helmet where you will just be laughing your ass off because he's trying to deliver this like super important line, but then he's just like this funny looking kid actor who, I don't know. Anyways, I personally think this show would have been 10 times better with somebody a little bit older meeting the robot. Like, who cares what a 10-year-old kid or whatever is gonna do with the robot? It's like the whole Iron Giant thing all over again. We've seen it. I would like to see someone, hey, maybe my age, but I wanted to see somebody a little bit older to see what they would do with a badass robot. I mean, maybe the show wouldn't be PG at that point. Who knows? Anyways, yeah, the Will Robinson character and the actor who plays him, didn't look up the name because, yeah, didn't like the performance. It gets really annoying how much the show revolves around, hey, he's my robot. Bah! Anyways, that bugged me a lot about it. Moving on. Okay, the last thing that kind of took me out of this show a little bit that I wish wasn't here was Molly Parker. I'm sorry. I love the actress Molly Parker. In House of Cards, she was amazing. She was in that movie 1922 where she played a completely different character to what she played in Jackie Sharp. And it seems like she's morphing into another completely different character in this TV show, Lost in Space. She's really good at actually not playing the same role each time. If you think about her 3 main roles on Netflix, I think she's actually had 4 roles on Netflix since House of Cards. She's been in so much stuff. Anyway, this point is Netflix. Please stop casting Molly Parker as every role. There has to be another motherly brunette lady that you can cast in a TV show. What is her contract? Does she have some crazy contract with Netflix that is like, all right, if we have a white lady main lead actor, it has to be Molly Parker? Oh, I don't get it. Loved her performance in House of Cards. Loved the performance in 1922. And even in Lost in Space, I'm like, oh my God, she's such a good actor. She can do whatever she wants. But the problem is, it's becoming the Tom Cruise effect, where I'm not seeing a character anymore. When you're watching House of Cards, you're like, oh, that's Jackie Sharp. She's a fiery lady, whatever. She was awesome in that. But it's getting to a point where they're casting her so much in every single Netflix original, where I'm like, oh, what's Molly Parker doing today? Oh, Molly Parker is in politics today. Oh, Molly Parker is out in the fields with her husband that doesn't hate her tomorrow. Oh, what's Molly Parker doing today? Oh, well, now she's an astronaut and a super genius. Netflix is becoming the Molly Parker show. Anyways, it's a really random point, but it's like, she's a great actress, but Netflix, take a goddamn break from Molly Parker. It's like, when I see Tom Cruise in a movie, it's like, oh, Tom Cruise is flying an airplane. Oh, Tom Cruise is a special agent today. That's why I hate watching Tom Cruise, because he's overcast and everything, and they don't change his face. And it's getting to this point where I'm seeing Molly Parker everywhere. And the problem is, it's only on Netflix. It's not like you're seeing some awesome Spielberg movie and it's like, oh, there's Parker. No, it's just only on Netflix. So you're targeting this one audience, and they're only seeing one actress in all the good stuff. I don't know. Anyways, she's a great actress. I'm just tired of seeing her. I'm just tired of it. I don't know. Yeah, she's in too much stuff that it's becoming an actual like continuity problem with the show, that I can't actually see her character, because it's just like, what's up, Molly? What are we doing today, Molly? All right, enough of that. Let's move on. Okay, the last thing I kind of want to talk about on this review is the ending. I'm not getting into actual specifics of events on the ending, but I just want to give you my opinion on what happened. I mean, I didn't like the ending. I did not like the ending. It was like, they set it up to be a perfect, happy ending to go. It's hard not to spoil anything. Anyways, it was like super easy. They did all these events to get to this one specific spot, and it was like right there, and then it was like all of a sudden, nope, that's not what's happening. Anyways, I don't know. The whole show is an amazing ride. They do set it up for a sequel very, very, very well. But I completely wanted it to go a different direction than it did. Basically, if you get to episode 10, I wanted them to link back up with who they were supposed to link back up with. No spoilers, but yeah, that's basically it. I didn't like the ending. But besides that, I mean, I think that it's set up very well for a sequel. There's a lot of different directions that they can go. And the cast that they kind of selected to be the new crew going into the next season was 100% all the characters that I actually liked. It was kind of funny that they sort of split up the characters at the end. It's like every character you've bonded with goes here. Every character you haven't bonded with is just like, goodbye. Anyways, that's kind of why I didn't like it, is because it's like, okay, there's all these characters that didn't get all these super deep storylines, and you're just sending them away and splitting up all the characters that have already had the majority of the storylines. Anyways, I don't know. It was kind of weird. I hope that wasn't too spoilery about the ending. Besides that, I really liked the show. Some of the acting really took me out of it, but I still watched the entire show in one night, so they did their job. I'm going to give it a score. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's a great show. You can show it to your whole family, but it's not nothing game breaking. It's nothing legendary where you're like, oh my god, that was, whoa, holy like, I don't know how to explain it, but some shows have that factor where you're like, who saw that coming? That was insane. I learned so many things. That was a great narrative. There's not that much of that super deep storytelling, especially not dark themes like Mass Effect, Dark Matter, Altered Carbon, those kind of shows, but it's still a great show. It feels like a 10-hour movie. Watch it with your whole family. Everybody's going to love it. Like I was talking about, I saw it early on Friday. I told my parents about it. They told my sister about it. And then there was like a point in the day where there were 3 screens in the house all watching Lost in Space. As I'm recording this video, my father is downstairs watching Lost in Space, and it's probably a little bit too loud. Anyways, my name is Troy Harrison Chriest. Thank you all for watching. See you all in the next one. Please leave a like on this video, subscribe, and you see the button that looks like a little bell or whatever? Yeah, I'm sure that didn't look like a bell, whatever I did with my hands. Click the bell button if you want a notification whenever I post a new video. I know my channel is mostly about gaming videos, but I love really good 4K space shows, so if there's more of those, I'll keep making videos about it. All right, my name is Troy Harrison Chriest. Leave a like, leave a dislike, do whatever you want. And hey, Netflix, how about a Mass Effect 4K space show? All right, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.